cash on my cash stack. High yields on stable coins, yeah, that's where my bag at. All I really need is Wi-Fi, get money on DeFi, mega cash on MetaMask. You better run when the runners run, show you how to get your money up. Dollar inflated like bubble gum, markets are jumping like double dutch. Buying up gold till I get a ton, crypto, yeah, I got some. You better run when the runners run, you better run when the runners run.
All right, welcome in everyone. It's Tuesday, February 13th, 2024, the year of the dragon. We got a great show for you guys tonight. The top 10 coins we are focused on in the next year. As always, I got my good brother here, Ricardo Hamilton, aka Mims, making it make sense. How's the year of the dragon treating you so far, Mims? What's going down?
Man, no complaints, brother. You see what's going on in these markets, and you know we've been talking about this stuff for years now, and we finally see a lot of these things take place. But we definitely got to keep the people updated. A lot of people are asking, you know, what are we doing? What are we into? So we got a good show for y'all tonight.
Yeah, and I had a bunch of people message me this week of like, am I too late, Mike? Am I too late? Yeah. And I told them, you're not, okay? You have 69 days to take action and get positioned for the biggest bull market, the biggest transfer of wealth that is going to happen in human history. Yeah. Mims, maybe make it make sense, because some people might not be running with the runners and they maybe don't understand how huge the Bitcoin halving is.
Well, yeah, I mean, the big institutions are buying up Bitcoin like crazy right now. Okay, big money is buying up Bitcoin right now because they understand supply and demand. And so when we're looking at the halving taking place here in 69 days, and since the Bitcoin ETFs, okay, have been approved, you're seeing that more money, and this is why we get excited, is because more money, and I'm talking about a whole lot more money, okay, is coming into Bitcoin. And when you have a supply that is shrinking and you have a demand that is expanding, you have price increase. Okay. So this is why a lot of people are bullish right now. And then on top of that, when you have a declining economy, global uncertainty, a lot of wealthy investors and institutions are looking at Bitcoin as a hedge. And when you put that into effect, where today we have inflation numbers that came out that are worse than expected, but not a surprise to us. We already knew that the inflation was bad. We know that the inflation is getting worse. It is a mechanism of this debt-based fiat monetary system, right? So we get excited when we know that we're in assets that are finite, precious metals. You know, we get excited when we're in assets that are limited in their supply, like Bitcoin, right? And we know where the wealth transfer is. So it's just a matter of time. And, you know, we're going to continue to hold these assets and help other people understand why they need to do the same.
100%, brother. And just quick overview of the top assets in the entire world. As always, gold is number one, $13.4 trillion market cap. Price is just a little over $2,000. Yeah. Keep an eye on NVIDIA. We're going to kind of bring in NVIDIA into the cryptocurrency plays we're going to be talking about. NVIDIA is the number one processor or chip manufacturer for computers that's needed for video games, AI, tons of stuff to do with computers and video processing. So that is why they are number 6. And then, of course, we have silver at 8, the most undervalued asset in the entire world, at just $22.07, Mims. Can you believe this? How bad they're rigging this market down?
Yeah, I mean, you would think that the dollar would be the number one asset on this chart, but the fact is that the dollar is not an asset. Right. The dollar is a liability. You know, the dollar doesn't hold value. It's fiat currency. But what do you see up there is an asset. And I say that because a lot of people value their wealth in dollars. So a lot of people, a dollar is an asset, and it's not. It's your ability to convert that dollar into assets that makes it an asset maybe to you. But you see, the number one asset is gold. So while you're out there trying to, you know, build wealth and secure your financial future, if you're not doing that in these top assets that we're talking about, you're not putting yourself in position to benefit from this wealth transfer, because this is a reset. And so a lot of things that a lot of people believe are assets are liabilities like the dollar. And a lot of things that people are discounting, like crypto and gold and silver, are the assets that are going to create massive wealth in this change in the financial system that we're seeing. But I mean, yeah, my silver and these metals at $22 an ounce is crazy, especially when you realize that the industrial demand for physical silver is exploding.
Yep.
The projections just in solar panels and everything else as we move forward in this technological revolution that's taking place, the demand for these rare earth minerals are greater than ever, greater than ever. And so now you have, the industrial demand increasing for these metals, but then once again, you have limited supply. Same thing. You have limited supply. There aren't that many silver mines in the world. And now silver, more and more people are realizing that they need to hold physical silver as money, as a hedge, as a
Yes.
way to secure their wealth. All right. And so we have a lot of great factors that create more value for silver while they're reducing the paper price of it, which is a good thing for us because we get to accumulate more of this asset, right? Now, some people get upset and say, oh, so
You still there, Ricardo? You froze up on me. Can you guys hear him, or is it just me? Yes, stack that silver in your safe. Keep stacking it up. You guys think you are saving silver, but silver is saving you. Just want to make sure, can anyone in the comments let me know? Did you guys lose Ricardo as well? I can't hear him right now. All right, he's gone. Okay. So Ricardo, if you can hear me, go ahead and see if you can log out. Oh, wait, I think you're back.
yeah, I'm back. What happened?
You
Where'd
good.
I get cut off at?
I don't know, bro. You were just making it make sense.
Okay, I was mimsing it. Yeah, but the whole point I was getting to, folks, is that silver is a massively undervalued physical asset that you have to have. They're rigging and manipulating the paper markets down. Do not be
Right.
fooled by the price, okay? You have to hold on to some assets for the medium to long term and use them to create and preserve and generational wealth.
So we have physical silver and gold as our defense. Right now, our is cryptocurrency, guys. This is the weekly chart right now. Okay. I did not expect this. Most people expect Bitcoin to go over $50,000 this early when we're still 69 days away from the halving. So, I mean, this week we got Dimension that we showed you guys how to get the airdrop on is up 43%, Beam up 64, Ordi that I told you guys to buy at $3 and it's at like 70 now, up 26%. Gala that we got a note on is up 12%. Bitcoin up 15% this week. I just made a video today on Pyth to stake those. That's up 29%. So there was lots of opportunities this week in this green market. And as you guys can see, Bitcoin has calmed down a little bit, probably because of the inflation numbers. Ricardo said inflation came in higher than they suggested. Surprise, surprise. But what we really want to focus on today, guys, is you can, look at all this hype or whatever, but like you need a plan, okay? And you need to focus on a few select tokens. If you're brand new, I would say 3, okay? If you've been around this space for a while, I'd say maybe 5. But no matter who you are, I would say to focus on 10 tokens and really hone in on getting gains from those in the next year and a half or so. Now, Mims, before we get into the top 10 tokens we are focused on for the next year.
Yep. And let me say this before you get into that, because when you jog my memory when you mentioned the inflation again, and I just have to, make sure, because not everybody's getting the news. Not everybody really knows that countries around the world are dumping the dollar worse than ever. The Japanese yen market is crashing right now, their currency. And so what we're seeing here is as this war and things continue to escalate, and then, of course, we have, the president of the United States right now, who we have, our nation is in a decline. The dollar is in a decline. And so countries around the world are dumping dollars, dumping treasuries. And so what happens is the Federal Reserve gets in here and they just, print dollars and they buy up the bonds, which keeps rates low. So understand something, that we literally are in a rigged and manipulated economy, but the rigging and manipulation will come to an end. Okay. And the question is will you be on the right side of that? When we talk about, assets, will you have the assets that you need to benefit from the reset and that will take place when they flip the switch on this economy and the global financial system? Okay. Everything right now, they're laying the groundwork. When you're talking about, SWIFT, and we're talking about the movement of money, and we're talking about, the movement of, value across the world, it's all moving to the blockchain. Okay. Everything is going to get tokenized. Stocks, real estate, you name it. Everything is going to be tokenized on the blockchain. They're not telling you this. They don't want you to know this. They don't want you taking your money out of the present old, financial system into the new financial system of blockchain and crypto. They want you to be able to control your money and control the movement of your money. Okay. While this system is collapsing, they won't tell you how close we are. But this is why I tell people all the time, I'd rather be 1 year or even 2 years too early than 1 day too late to the greatest wealth transfer in history. And unfortunately, most people are going to wait until that, they hear it on the news, or they're going to wait until, it's quite evident that we're in a crisis. And then they're going to try to do something. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Maybe I should get some silver and gold like Mike been telling me for years now. By that time, it might be too late. Okay. Yep. I'm seeing stuff, Mike, right now. They're coming out, they're saying something in Canada. They're trying to put out all this disease X or this new variants or new something all the time. And the whole point is that, look, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. Okay. So stay ready.
And I remember I saw this. I just looked this up really quick. The Bitcoin ETFs, if you guys don't know, okay, these are just electronic traded funds. This is where like institutions, hedge funds can get into Bitcoin and buy it very easily through normal brokerages. People don't have to get their own wallet, and remember their seed words now. Okay. Literally, basically anyone now can just go to any institution where you can invest and you can buy a Bitcoin ETF. So spot Bitcoin ETFs are sucking up 10 times more Bitcoin than miners can produce. Over 10 times in the past 2 trading days.
Yeah.
So spot crazy. Bitcoin ETFs scooped up 10 times more Bitcoin than what miners were able to produce on Monday, February 12th. So, and again, Ricardo, the halving's coming.
Yeah.
Once that happens, instead of 10 times, it'll be 20 times. Yeah. We've never had a bull market like this where we have institutional buying power from average, ordinary people who, can't or don't want to get educated on how to actually use the blockchain. They can now use traditional finance to get exposure to Bitcoin. So I think that's why the price has gone up so much more than what most people expected.
On top of a collapsing financial system and rising inflation. I mean, folks, this is where they talk about a super cycle. I mean, here you have it, the supply of Bitcoin hasn't been cut in half yet. And even at where we are right now, they're buying up 10 times more than is produced in a day. Okay. So what we're talking about is a trend. You don't have to be really a genius to see it. We're talking about a trend. And then, of course, when you put with the backdrop, like I said, inflation, a hedge, the financial crisis, and, BRICS and everything else that's happening with blockchain and the global financial system and new world order, all this stuff behind it. But just on the supply and demand factor, where now you have, like Mike said, we're going into a bull run, and you have trillions of dollars really out there that's ready to move into the blockchain, move into the crypto space. Okay. And right now, the supply of Bitcoin hasn't even been cut in half yet, and they're already sucking up more than it's producing a day. So what do you think is going to happen? Just like Mike said, it's going to be crazy. It's going to get wild. That's right. And so this is why we're saying, get what you can now. I'm not going to go through an ETF. I know how to get the Bitcoin and hold it myself. Right. I don't want to, but there are people who don't, there's older people with money, or there's, people who just don't know, they understand the tech, whatever. and they want to go through a Fidelity or whatever have you and get a Bitcoin ETF. But the fact is that there's money coming to the space that did not exist before. So if you got excited about the previous bull runs and excited about the trillions of dollars that were in the crypto space at the height of the bull run when Bitcoin was over 60,000 and such, you have no idea what's coming. You know, you're just going to be blown away. So get in now. Look, yeah, it's a hedge. It's a hedge against this crashing market, you know.
All right, so let's get into the top 10, Mims. let me do some disclaimers here, okay? We are not financial advisors, okay? You need to do your own research. You need to understand why these tokens have value so that when they do go down, you want to buy more, okay? Buy red, sell green, all right? And if you want to you're not too late. Almost every single token is going to go up in the next year and a half, okay? If you want to be the super safe, you can just buy Bitcoin. It'll probably do a 3 or 4x, meaning go up 3 to 400, 500%, okay, which is great in traditional finance. But once you've been around cryptocurrency for a few cycles, a few years, 5x is nothing, right? What I want is a 10x minimum, and then I'm looking to get 20, 30, 50, maybe even 100x on my money, all right? So we've kind of put this together. We're not saying buy these tokens now. We're saying this is where we are putting our money, and you can do your own research and decide what you want to do with your money. But Mims, I'm going to start out with the first three and kind of explain to, you know, if someone came to me and said, Mike, I have know nothing about crypto. What do you think, you know, might be a good place to start? These are the first three I would give them. And I'll kind of explain my reasoning here. So the first three here are Solana, Chainlink, and Immutable X. So you want to be diversified in your portfolio, meaning you want to have some tokens at the top, right? So Solana is one of the fastest growing layer one blockchains. They're still growing out a lot. They have a lot more room to grow than what Bitcoin or Ethereum do. All right. It's very fast. It's very cheap. The price is moving up and down, which is good if once you understand how to move in and out of the market. So Solana to me is a safer bet that still has a lot of room to grow over Bitcoin and Ethereum. Chainlink is an oracle that feeds data and prices into decentralized finance. They've been around for a long time. They are the number one oracle in this space. They have huge connections used by many protocols. And I would say after the Bitcoin ETF, there'll probably be an Ethereum ETF. And then a lot of people think Chainlink would be the third one that is used because it has very big enterprise adoption. And then the big crypto is about narratives. Okay. What is hot right now? Is it AI? Is it gaming? Is it DePIN? Okay. If you want to get a slice of the pie when it comes to crypto gaming, rather than going out and buying 20 or 30 different, different crypto games, Immutable X is kind of bringing them all together. All right. So those would kind of be like my three safer plays because they're all in the top 30, but they all have room for growth. Chainlink's all-time high is already at $50. Okay. So you got at least a 2-3x there before you hit the top. Immutable X is a newer token, so who knows what will happen there. Mims, anything you want to add when it comes to those three tokens? Any insight you want to give?
Spam calling. Yeah, a lot. I froze up there, Mike, for a second, but I'm back.
Yeah, I don't think we missed anything.
Okay.
Or maybe you couldn't hear me, but any input you want to give with Solana, Chainlink, and Immutable X?
Yeah, no, I like those picks. Definitely Chainlink. I definitely like that Chainlink pick. Me myself, obviously I love XRP. I like what XLM is doing. And then of course, something in the gaming, probably a Gala, being that I do have a node and I'm bullish on them. But no, it really comes down to narrative. One thing I will say is that in the bull run, like Mike said, when Bitcoin rises, kind of, rise the tide and all other projects rise with it. And I remember in the last few bull runs, I mean, it seemed very easy to make money. A lot of things was going up really fast and exciting, but definitely, like Mike said, do have that strategy, and follow the projects, know what they're doing, and watch, watch the movement, because it's going to happen quick, and you have to take profits. Okay, you have to siphon profits out and make it real. Okay, because it's exciting to see your wallet go up 5x, like Mike said, or 10x, but it's unrealized. It's not real
Right.
until you've sold it or swapped it out for a stable coin. Okay, and then you took that money and did something with it in the real world. Okay, get some gold, get some silver, get some land, get some real estate.
Yep.
Okay, IULs even, some people love, but just turn it into something real. Is my whole perspective on it, because a lot of people have made money in crypto, but they didn't sell, they didn't make money because it was paper money. It was all digits. Turn it
Yep.
real. Yeah.
So if you guys are new, you want to play it safer, those 3 tokens I think are going to do great. Now, these are kind of more my mid caps. These ones are, Hedera H bar is an ISO 2022 token, as Ricardo said, XRP. I get the whole XRP thing, but for me, I just don't see a lot of growth there, right? It's got about a 2x for its all-time high, right? It's around 60-ish cents. Its all-time high was around 220. So, or maybe a 3x, okay, before its all-time high. I think H bar has great. Actually, just go to these websites, and just so you guys kind of know how to use this, if you're like, well, where do I buy H bar? You can go to CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap and click on markets, and it will show you all the places that you can go to buy this token. Now, I think H bar has great, they have huge connections with people in this space. So you can just come here and go to their website, and I've been buying H bar for a long time. You're looking at Boeing, Dell, IBM, Google, Deutsche Telekom, Hitachi, Ubisoft, and you can LG. These guys are like as legit as it gets, and their tech is good. So to me, H bar has way higher of a ceiling than something like XRP. A lot of the people that I follow and the education I get can see H bar going to like $1.50, $1.60. So right now you got H bar at, what is it, 8 cents? Okay. Going to $1.50 even. Okay. That's a lot of X's. That's a 15, 20X. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm swinging for the fences here. All right. I'm not looking to necessarily play it safe.
Yeah, what I would say, in the face of that, is there are dynamics and factors that with XRP at its all-time high that stopped it from growing. And those let me say it like this: XRP is the only crypto that we know for sure is not a security. Okay, 100%, and Bitcoin. Okay, and so XRP is going to surpass its all-time highs. It's too much connections and value when you really look at what they're doing. But it's not an XRP versus H bar thing. Of course, I like H bar. I have H bar. I'm going to accumulate more H bar. But I think that a lot of people will be shocked by what XRP does. In this bull run, and as time moves forward, now that the court case is done, and a lot of countries around the world benefiting from the connections that is already been put in place, and what they've been developing this whole time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You definitely want to have a bag of XRP and just put it away and wait for everything to play out. Now, this next one is called Superverse. Okay. This, again, you guys have to think about narratives. Okay. What is going to get hot? What's going to make retail, meaning new people, come into crypto and want to buy tokens like crazy? Okay. Because they don't listen to us. It's gaming. Okay. What do your teenagers do almost every day? Game. Okay. People love video games. Fortnite is huge. Once that first blockchain crypto game gets popular, the entire sector is going to explode. So Superverse is a company that's started by a guy named Elio Trades. He's a very big crypto YouTuber, has lots of influence, and he has lots of connections. And they've just kind of rebranded what Superverse is. It's essentially connecting all gaming together. I would almost say it's the Google of gaming, where they're not just creating their own game or their own game studio. They're looking to unite and bring together all crypto games under one roof to have like the same login and be able to use crypto easily. And obviously you can see it's ripped. Okay. I've owned Superverse for 4 years, went up 82% in the last week. So to me, a very easy play of a hot narrative is Superverse with gaming. Now, this is kind of a dark horse here, Ricardo, is Oriya Chain. This is on the Atom Cosmos ecosystem, but I just kind of want to go here and show you guys their website really quick. Just click on info and go to their website. They are combining lots of narratives. Now, they also have this cool thing here. I got to get into this more. They have this DeFi lens, Ricardo, that uses AI where you can like go in and ask the bot something about crypto of like trading, and it'll answer you like Chat GPT. So they already have this made. So they're like really building things. And then you can also come here. Oh, you have to log in. I'm not going to do that right now, but I have before. And it will basically like break down the whole crypto market for you. Like you can say, you know, what's the market cap, what's the narrative and all that. So it's like basically analyzing the crypto markets with AI, and they already have it built.
No, that's huge because as this space continues to grow, you're going to need that data. You're going to need those tools and those resources. So I like the sound of that. That sounds great. To be able to find something in any industry or any market, you don't know what's going on, but you might have an idea of what you're looking for. And next thing you know, through your R&D, maybe Ori chain, okay, you might find that next 100x.
So this one just brings together a lot of things. It's very undervalued. Like I said, you know, this would be more of a risky play. It is at 682, but there's only 20 million tokens, 19.7 million tokens. So there's not a lot of tokens out right now, 15 million circulating supply. There's less of these than Bitcoin, and it's at 682 right now, and you can stake this. I show you guys how to do that to get even more yield. So this is an underdog. It is more risky. All right, now we're getting to the fun stuff, guys. Okay. Good question here. Any thoughts on HBAR saucer swap? I believe I've used that. I think so. I have a video on how to stake HBAR for 26% using 2 different protocols. I'll have to go back and check on that. I've been meaning to do an update video on staking HBAR. But I will look into that. All right, guys. Now, Mint Layer is one of my biggest bags. Okay. This is the narrative here is Bitcoin Layer 2. Okay. So Bitcoin eventually will have DeFi. And I'm betting on Mint Layer being the one to do that. Okay. Empowering Bitcoin with a side chain, a future-proof blockchain that improves direct token interoperability and enable ways to trade value, create systems and functionalities, and participate in a trustless finance. So this is what I think will open Bitcoin on DeFi. This launched very recently. Their mainnet was literally this month. So I was in early. I think it's going to bring DeFi to Bitcoin and actually make it usable. They already have an app. So again, you're going to have to do your own research, but I am heavily into Mint Layer, and I think they're going to do well. You can see here, they literally still have the Mint Layer mainnet is live now. Like that's one of their things. So as we're going to this bull run, what I'm looking to do is get into cryptocurrency tokens early before they pop. It might not be as exciting, right now as if you're, trading Solana, but you want to get in early before these narratives pop off. Mims, any thought on that? I'm just getting in early before it happens.
Yeah, no, it pays to have these tools and resources and know how to navigate, because I remember it was like 2019, before 2020, and I think it's the first time I opened up my Trust wallet and I saw all these other tokens on there and I didn't know what they. What I mean? At that time, if I really had took my time to get in early on and do my research and put a little bit into certain projects, my portfolio be way bigger than where it is now. But yeah, this is the information that people need, because most people just talk about the main cryptos. They don't know about the next opportunities that are coming up, like you talk about with the narratives, DeFi and on Bitcoin and things of this nature. So no, this is good, and obviously we can already see the growth in these projects right now over the last week. Like you said, Superverse up 82% and so
on. Good question here. We are one. The TPS on Mint Layer, I believe they're using the Lightning Network. So whatever the Lightning Network TPS is, that means transactions per second. It's super, super fast, as I'm sure you know if you're asking those questions. Yeah, man. I would just say go and do your own research, get in their white paper. They can answer all those questions. I don't have that literally off the top of my head right now, but those are good questions. I've researched it and I know they're super, super fast and super, super smooth. But yeah, definitely do some research on them. Now, this next one, Ricardo.
Yeah.
Bro, I aped in today a little bit. Like I was having like FOMO for sure. This last one is called OPSEC. Okay, this one's hot right now. Don't go and buy this. Okay, right now it's up 112% this last week. Now I put this in the Runners Telegram group at 16 cents. So we've already doubled our money. Those of you that took action. This one is like almost brand new, and it hits almost every narrative you want right now. Okay. AI, decentralized cloud computing unleashed. All right. Security, privacy, and it has DPIN. Okay. DPIN is decentralized physical infrastructure networks. That's kind of like it's kind of like the Internet of Things. It's like hotspots. It's just things, physical things that connect networks. Okay. So this thing almost has everything you could want as a nerd when it comes to blockchain. And they're very, very new. So I just want to show you guys the numbers here. And Ricardo, you can probably make this make sense, but the only place to buy this right now is on Uniswap. Okay. And it's only on Ethereum. So there's no exchanges that have this. This is how new this is. So actually, if I bought today, I'm telling you guys, maybe you can too. It is up right now, but the max supply is only 100 million. Almost all the circulating supply is out right now. And MIMS, their market cap is only 42 million. I try to find projects under 50 million to get in so they have that room to grow to double up.
Yeah.
So I know you haven't researched OPSEC a ton, Ricardo, but you get what those numbers mean. Like those numbers look to me sweet.
Yeah, no, look really sweet. Max supply, being where it is, and then we talking about we call those low cap gems.
Yep.
That's where we call them low cap gems, and that price action looks phenomenal. And then apparently, based on what you're saying with the narrative and the use case for it, definitely is one that people would want to do their research on and get a little bag in it. It doesn't hurt. That's one thing about this crypto space in your portfolio. You do want to have a certain amount of tokens and projects that you're invested in. But you also want to make sure that it's well diversified at the same time. And OPSEC sounds like it's definitely something that you want to have in that portfolio.
Yeah, and so guys, it comes down to like you have to decide how risky you want to be, right? If you put, let's say you had $10,000, right, and you wanted to put 1,000 to each, that's more risky because you're putting more money into these lower cap coins, but they can also go up more. Whereas, you'd want to maybe a safer person would put 50% in the top 3 or 4, and then, 50% in the bottom. So this is maybe just my atom, my cosmos. Okay, Picasso is down a lot, and I bought more, and it went down more, so I need to buy more.
Yes, good time to buy
Picasso,
when you believe in
yeah,
something that is down. You see,
yes.
everything you showed me is very exciting, and OPSEC and all that. But I'm like, I want to wait for a significant pullback. But what
Well,
you
here you
said right
go.
here, yeah,
There you
yeah.
go. So, Picasso has already almost hit 3 cents. It's pulled back down to almost half a penny right now. I don't really know why. I don't know if it's a market thing. Picasso is bringing Polkadot to what? That was the wrong one. Polkadot to IBC, or IBC is the Cosmos Atom ecosystem. They also brought Ethereum, and Solana and Polkadot. So they're kind of an interoperability. That means they help other blockchains talk to other blockchains. This one, again, is risky, but I've done a lot of research on them. I like the team. I like what they're doing. So it's super low cap. I mean, I think they're at almost nothing. 30 million, right? 30 million.
Yeah.
So, and half the supply isn't out. But this one, I was kind of the last one I put on, but I just couldn't think of anything else that I really loved that I saw a huge upside in. All right, the last one, guys. This one, I am pumped. This is probably my biggest bag in a single token I have, and it meshes with what Ricardo loves about XRP. So Corium is real world assets on the XRP ledger, guys. So if you love XRP, if you get how they're integrating with the bank, Corium is the enterprise blockchain, bringing in huge enterprises to tokenize real world assets. It's ISO 2002. It is enterprise grade blockchain, and we have tons of videos on this. This is basically the first decentralized finance using XRP's ledger, and they're going to have these things called smart token that makes complex transactions simple. And this is like, to me, I think this is my grand slam, Mims. And we've already gotten airdrops from them, and we're farming the ecosystem. Like, to me, guys can see Mint Layer isn't even ranked on these things right now. They have what's their market cap right now? 83 million. Total supply of 500 million. And you've interacted with Corium a little bit. So I guess, Ricardo, like, to me, right, if I'm an XRP maxi, Corium to me is like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
That I can get Corium at 16 cents with a market cap of 83 million.
Yeah, and that's why I like it. When you brought it to me and we saw the value, I already got excited once I found out it was on the XRPL, just because, what I believe and what I love about XRP and their ledger and what they're doing, and then finding out what Corium's doing, and especially talking about real world assets. I love RWAs. I understand the tokenization of assets, and, we hear the elite, and institutions talk about it all the time. So we know that there's massive wealth, coming into RWAs. And so you want to find projects that are satisfying and facilitating that transfer, and that ability. And Corium's definitely one of them, and this is so early. I mean, you guys might want to mark this video. Okay. It's going to go down in history. Okay. Because a lot of these projects, when we come back and look 24 months from now, 12, 12 months from now, 24 months from now.
We'll do a Valentine's Day special next
Valentine's
year.
Day special. There
Valentine's
it is.
Day special. We're going to see where we're at with the same
I love
10
it.
tokens. So
Yeah. Awesome.
take a screenshot.
Right.
So let's see if I can get it all in one.
Yeah, minimize that screen.
There we go.
Bring it up a little
All
bit.
right.
Your name is in the way.
Oh, yeah, I see that. Okay.
There
All
it
right,
is.
there we go. So those are the 10 tokens. I have bought all of these. I'll be honest with you. I've not bought Immutable X yet. I keep waiting for a pullback and it never happens. And at this point, I'm just like, all right, screw it. I just need to buy some. So I do own every single one of these other than Immutable X. I would say Picasso would be kind of the riskiest or like the least likely or the last one. Corium is my grand slam. OPSEC is new. Mint Layer, big into Orion chain. I've been into Superverse, the top Chainlink, Solana, Superverse, Hedera, of course. Like if you've been in this space, you know what those things can do. But for me, Corium, Mint Layer, Orion chain, OPSEC are my swing for the fences. There's risk there, but there's huge upside, which is why I love them. All right. Last thing tonight, Mims, is we got some good news, guys, here. Where'd it go? Here it is. Oh, Adrian, spot on, sir. You guys got anything on the debt ecosystem tonight? Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do.
Coinbase CLO sides with U.S. senators, bashes SEC for debt box fiasco. So now we have, here's the highlights, guys. The Coinbase CLO expressed heavy criticism for the SEC's handling of the debt box case. He noted that the regulatory agency lacks accountability and transparency. The sentiment was earlier put forth by Republican senators who penned a letter to the SEC chair, Gary Gensler. So Coinbase got into this, and apparently, I didn't even know this, Mims. I just learned this today. He condemned them after SEC admitted that it misrepresented evidence, leading to a freeze on debt box's assets. Coinbase CLO slams SEC for debt box legal drama. Gruel did not mince words in his criticism of the SEC, highlighting the agency's silence in the face of its admitted deception. In a recent thread on X, the Coinbase CLO noted that they knew the TRO against the debt box was tainted by the SEC's misrepresentations. Gruel further remarked, but rather than immediately pulling its order after admitting that it deceived the court, the SEC sat silently, thus pointing to a lack of accountability within the regulatory body. And I didn't know this. The SEC, to me, this is huge. Coinbase decided to defy the SEC's order to freeze assets related to debt box. Gruel added, so rather than continue this injustice, we then told the SEC we wouldn't comply further unless they explained why we should. According to the Coinbase CLO statement, the crypto exchange corrected the wrong by unfreezing the assets while the SEC remained silent. So hats off to Coinbase for defying the SEC and unfreezing the assets of DebtBox because they knew they were lies. They knew the corruption of the SEC.
Go ahead, Mike. Finish it up.
The controversy erupted when the SEC's lawyers misstated information in court and subsequently failed to correct themselves, resulting in false accusations against Digital License Inc., also known as the Debt Box. Furthermore, the SEC's missteps were met with a strong rebuke from U.S. District Judge Robert Shelby, who chastised the regulatory body for its actions. And then also, A group of Republican senators, including J.D. Vance, Cynthia Lummis, put forth similar concerns, with which the Coinbase CLO echoed. These U.S. senators penned a letter to SEC Chair Gary Gensler, clown show himself, expressing deep-seated concerns about the commission's enforcement practices. The senators underscored the gravity of the situation, stating, "It is unconscionable that any federal agency could operate in such an unethical and unprofessional manner."
Wow.
So thank you, J.D. Vance, of those 6 senators standing up to this corrupt organization or clown show known as the SEC that have destroyed tens of thousands of people's lives with their lies. Mims, I better let you take over. I might get too upset and say something that might put me in prison.
Man, look, it's a beautiful day for the Deadbox ecosystem when you have news like this coming out with all the FUD that came out once the SEC came out with the lies and said that the Deadbox was fraud. And let me tell you something, folks. Jason is handling things very, in the Deadbox Council, is handling things very, very strategically. Okay. Yep. There's a lot of great news and updates and events that are coming out with the Deadbox ecosystem, but they want the court case to finish getting the spotlight. Okay. They want the SEC to continue to get that grilling. So they don't want to necessarily take away the focus from what's going on with the SEC, because understand something. This is case study. Okay. For the crypto space for decades. We're setting
precedent.
We're setting a precedence. Yeah. Okay. For decades to come. Okay. This is huge implication for the whole crypto market. So it's even bigger than Deadbox, okay? When you're talking about, so they want to let the focus on this, and as you can see, a lot of the assets in the Deadbox ecosystem, from my understanding, they still don't even have full access yet of everything, right? So they don't even have access to all their assets yet. So a lot of people are wondering what's going on. Trust and believe, all the value that was there in the Deadbox ecosystem prior to the SEC's lies is still there, and in fact, it's even greater, okay? You're going to get more information about the $1 trillion worth of oil in Ghana that they found. More information on the $1.5 trillion worth of natural gas. And you're going to get more updates on a lot of the other projects that we all are in and that we know are valuable, dealing with real world businesses, okay, and real world commodities. So, but right now, the SEC got to continue to get their grilling. The Deadbox got to continue to get these assets unfroze, okay? But this is some great news. It just let people know that they are part of a real blockchain project. The SEC stepped in and set them up the same way they set up XRP. XRP was going to all-time highs, past $3 and whatnot. SEC came in and said XRP is a security, crashed the price of XRP, created a lot of people who sold and fudded, a lot of people who are upset with XRP today because of its price action, not understanding that this is chess, not checkers. It's very strategic in how things take place. You just got to know what you hold. It's not get rich quick, So same thing with the Deadbox. You know what I'm saying? We know that it's not fraud. Trust me, if the Deadbox was doing, they would have found it. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
They would have found it and they would have pinned it on them. Okay. If they could have planted something, they would have planted it. Okay. So they wouldn't look bad. So this is what they don't want, folks. They do not want this exposure, this negative press. This is a stain on them. They're already calling for reforms in the SEC and how they run and getting rid of Gensler. They're under a lot of pressure right now. And this is good. This is good for the crypto space. So it's just part of the process. But it's exciting to see that we have been sharing and we know valuable projects like the Deadbox. We're in their ecosystem, and it's going to get greater and greater as we move forward in 2024 with the Deadbox ecosystem. But that's some phenomenal news, seeing the Coinbase CLO, senators, and everybody has the Deadbox on their tongue. You got to understand that essentially everybody in the crypto space, they know about
free publicity, mate. Free publicity.
Okay. So now anybody who's intelligent, it begs the question, well, what is the Deadbox? Who's the Deadbox? What are they doing?
Why did they go after them?
And then you find out
they weren't even on the top 1,000 coins. Why did they go after the Deadbox?
Who's the Deadbox? What do they do? Real world assets? Isn't that the narrative for the next bull run? RWAs?
Natural gas, oil,
What? Wait,
aluminum?
they doing something with Polkadot? What?
Huh?
What? Tenacity? What are they doing? Layer one
We
blockchain?
we should look into that.
What exactly? It's just a matter of time. So thank you. You know, and one part is thank you. In another way, and unfortunately, it brought down our assets, brought down a lot of our incomes. You know, made the last 6 months very trying. But I believe it's going to get better for us. We will be redeemed. You know, we will be happy with the ecosystem and the Debt Box project and what Jason and the council put together.
You,
Yep.
you have to have temporary pain for long-term gain.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. Anything of value, they will always try to take it away from you. If they don't, you know it's not valuable.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, folks, man, we just excited. You know, there's only about 20% of people in the United States that's in crypto. You're so early.
Yep.
You know, there's trillions of dollars sit on the sideline ready to get into the space, international and other things. And we talk about the dynamics that are going on globally. You know, there's only what 4% of people in crypto around the world, you know, globally. So it's huge. It's huge to be in this space so early. So no matter where you are, if you even if you're just getting into crypto right now, you're so far ahead of, you know, the
Yeah.
masses of people. You're still in early, okay? Quite frankly, when we're talking about um, the whole world is going to run on blockchain. It's like Internet 2.0. You know, it's fire, it's the wheel, it's the engine. You know what I mean? It's the internet. You know, it's like, and it's blockchain. I might have missed a couple of things in there, but these are things that just transform the world that everybody uses in some fashion or some way. It's involved in their life. You know, that's right, Brother Master. Blockchain technology, Web3. So we went from read to read, write, and now own. And it's going to
Mm.
transform everything. The music industry, artists now putting out their albums as NFTs. You know, getting rid of the middleman. I mean, that's what blockchains allows us to do. We're talking about smart contracts. You know, I mean, it's huge. The layers and the applications of this technology, and what it's doing to humanity and the evolution and growth of humanity in the process, along with AI, along with automation, along with robotics, you know, and everything else that is taking place. Things are going to accelerate here, you know, faster than most people can realize. But get excited. You're in this space, you know about it, and you're going to do well. The more that you continue to educate yourself, the more that you continue to follow the right people and the more action that you take. And I tell people all the time, if you haven't lost money in crypto, you ain't been in crypto long enough. Okay. You ain't seasoned. You ain't initiated until you lost
Right,
money in
right.
crypto. Okay. It's part of the process. But the whole idea in life is you turn your losses into wins by learning from them.
Yep.
Don't repeat those same mistakes. Okay. There's a lot of scams out here. There's a lot of this and that. You got to know what sites to connect your wallet to, how, you know, how to, you know, swapping everything. It's, you know, exchanges, and it's a lot, but it's worth it. It's worth it as you, you know, move forward in your journey of becoming free. That's really what it's coming down to. It's part of our freedom, you know. And so you need to take your time and learn that and get excited as well. But no, it's not going to be a cakewalk. You will probably lose some money in the process. But the whole idea is that you learn from it and you go out and make more money.
All right. For those who stay till the end, I got a little bonus for you guys. Okay. Now, don't buy this right now. It's at its all-time high. Okay. Zeta Chain. This literally came out in the last week. Okay. I bought some right around here. I put it in the runners app, about 130 or so. It's already gone up to 237. This literally just came out. All right. You can see though, it's already at number 126. Market cap is 560 million. They still have a lot of tokens to release, but I'm going to be doing a video maybe even tonight or tomorrow about how to get airdrops from this chain. This chain might be the interoperability play. You can use Bitcoin, you can use Ethereum, you can use Binance Smart Chain. Any EVM, that means Ethereum virtual machine coins, can be used on Zeta Chain. Their mainnet isn't even out yet. So like This is like the new, like if this was Billboard music, this is the hot #1 track that came out and everyone's listening to it. So pay attention to it. I'm not saying to go and buy it. It's even hard to get, but this is the biggest hype I've seen only on 10 exchanges right now. I've never seen a coin come out like this and have it shoot up like this quickly. So keep an eye on Zeta, and be watching our YouTubes. We'll have a airdrop video on how to get into the DeFi of Zeta, because this one could be huge. So we appreciate you guys listening. Great point there, Adrian. Don't Google anything when it comes to crypto. Ever. Go to a trusted source you have bookmarked, a Twitter that's verified, and make sure it's from them and not from someone else trying to look like them on Twitter. Even I almost fall for this stuff, guys. So be careful out there. Double check. Don't FOMO.
Yeah, it happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of us. Have some redundancy when it comes to your wallets and things of that nature. Old phones. Look, I'm gonna tell you, I almost lost something because I updated my app and I got locked out and I couldn't find my phrase for some reason. Thought I wrote it down, and everybody makes mistakes. And I wrote this phrase down like years ago, so it was old. But luckily, I had an old phone that had the app on there that didn't update, that had the same password and gave me access to those assets, right? So, just make sure, obviously, that you have your seed phrases secure, written down, laminated, okay, waterproofed it, right? And even keep your old phones and things sometime that has those apps and different things on there. But yeah, folks, we're excited about the bull run, the wealth transfers and assets that are physical and digital. Still very bullish, obviously, on physical silver and gold. And if you don't know, you better reach out to us because we got some of the most exciting developments getting ready to take place, opportunities getting ready to take place in the precious metal space. It's huge, folks. I've never seen anything this big in the precious metal space. Okay. And I've been here for over a decade, buying silver and then getting into gold and silver heavily in the last 5 years or so. And what we're looking at right now is probably the biggest thing in this that has hit the market in precious metals. So we're fired up and excited. Definitely reach out to us and look, lace up, let's get wealthy.